What's going on, everybody? Rob A here, and today we're taking a look at Transformers Power of the Primes Autobot Jazz. This is, of course, one of the deluxe class figures from the Transformers Power of the Primes line. He does come with a combiner part here, which is hand or foot or fist or whatever it is. I'm not entirely sure just yet. I'll let you know once I am out of the package and in hand. And, of course, he's got his blaster here. Very nice representation of Jazz, as you can see in a deluxe form here. On the back, we can see Howl, the improvisational Autobot special ops agent. Wow, that's a lot to say right there. Wield the power of the primes. Transforms in 18 steps. Retails for about $16.99, and of course comes with, or is compatible with many of these other Prime Master figures, Micronus, Vector Prime, Liege Maximo, etc., etc. You can see the combined form here on the side, and of course on this side we've got some nice relief of the Prime symbols. So pretty cool. Some nice imagery up on the top, and that's about it for the packaging. We're going to go ahead and get this guy open and check him out in hand right now. Alright guys, so here we have Power of the Primes Jazz in hand and ready to go. First, let's take a quick look at his collector card I got in this case. Quintus Prime with my Jazz figure, and that's how these guys work. They're all different random primes assigned to collector cards, so you're going to get a different one every time, pretty much. So, I mean, that's kind of fun, but at the same time, it's kind of frustrating, because it means if you're like a completionist that needs the entire, like, set, you're going to have to go, like, searching down, however many of these 12, 13 different figures, and you're going to run into some money there. So, there is the collector card. Let's take a look at Jazz in his vehicle form, and here it is, and it's pretty cool looking. He's got this stuff on the back. He's got this little thruster thing, and we'll take this off for now so I can just show off the base vehicle mode. And he's got a little blaster here, and we'll just set that off to the side. So here is the vehicle mode. It's pretty nice. It's a nice little like race car sort of deal. A lot more paint or tampos on here than I anticipated seeing. He does have some nice logos here, some stuff going on here, nice Autobot symbol. Not too much going on underneath. You can kind of just see Jazz's head there. You can hide it if you want, just like that. Go boop, nothing, you don't see it. But that's a lie, and you know it. But yeah, you can see just not too much going on under there. And then the back of the car looking weirdly square and combiner warsy. So you got that going on, but other than that, not a bad vehicle mode. It's kind of cool. It does roll, as you would hope that it would. And yeah, it's a little weirdly gappy here around the wheels because of the arms, but yeah, I really think they could have done a little bit more to kind of make that slightly more flush. Would have been nice, but not the end of the world by any stretch. So there you go. Not too much else to talk about. It is very white, and it could certainly use some more paint, especially in the rear half of the vehicle. So, like in the front half, you got, some nice tampos. You got some stuff on the side here, a little bit of logos. It's a little plain, but it's not bad. You can tell they were making an effort. And then if you just look at the back half, like it's here. Oh, look at this! They put a blue stripe. They put a blue stripe on it. What about the back? Oh, okay. Okay, well, they tried. So I would have liked to have seen more effort back there for sure. But, it is what it is. I'm just here to show you guys what I got going on. You can decide for yourselves if you think it's worthwhile for you. So yeah, transformation is pretty simple. Like if you've done, Combiner Wars figures, you pretty much know what is up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and take the arms out to the sides, just like that. Boom, arms, done. We're going to go ahead and bring this whole section of the car up, and then we're going to go ahead and bring the head down so we can bring this section, split it like that, so this part can come up and then get folded in on itself and then fold it around and then go like that. And it does peg onto itself, so you're looking for that and then that to form the robot abdomen. And then we're going to go ahead and swing Jazz's head up here. Swing this whole shebang up like this. And then before we get anything too ahead of ourselves, we want to go ahead and get the legs out of the way, which are going to go ahead and open these up like so. And they don't really peg into anything. You just close these up, and it, I guess, kind of holds the legs together. So we're just going to go ahead and do that, and close that up. And then we're going to bring the feet down. The feet are going to lock into place. And now this whole stuff, this whole bit, section, shenanigans, is going to hopefully lock into place. Oh yeah, okay. I was totally missing these two pegs because they're clear plastic, so they're very easy to forget that they're there. So yeah, so you just want to also be careful because they are clear plastic, but you want to kind of line them up a little bit here. And once you got them lined up, you can kind of jam them into place, and they'll stay put. And then you just adjust the arms, and then you're pretty much done with Jazz there. And so here is Jazz in robot mode. Alright guys, so now we have Jazz, and he's got his little blaster doodad, and you can stick that right in his hand, or, you know, wherever, preferably in his hand, I guess. And he can hold that. He does have a wrist swivel, which I'm not entirely sure why, because his arm is just one solid thing, so you can't really do anything with it. So you can, if you want to, stick this blaster in his forearm, if that's more your speed. He can pretend he could like role play as Megatron, like I'm Megatron, meh. So he's got that going on. He does have the power of the Prime's Mega Fist, or whatever they're calling it. I don't really know exactly what they're calling it these days, but it's, you know, it's a Combiner Wars Fist. Let's not kid ourselves here. So he's got that going on. You can turn that into a hand if you want. It's just a hand. It's not a hand or a foot. It's, you know, single use these days. But you can put that on his forearm as like a shield, or a, you know, big mega blaster, if that's something you enjoy. So he's got that going on. The whole gimmick with this is that you can pop this clear plastic piece out and put one of your Prime Masters, or whatever they're called these days, into the shield, and that'll like prime power Jazz up. I don't have any of those, so I'm using Aimless from Titan's Return. So, oop, sorry. So another thing to note is this plastic piece does come out. It doesn't like flip out, or doesn't have a hinge or anything. So be wary of losing these pieces when you've got your Prime stuff going on. So he does have that, so you can do whatever you want with it. You can stick it anywhere here. He's got a bunch of holes there. And yeah, so articulation on this guy's head is on a ball joint. Well, his head was on a ball joint. His head popped off a ball joint, but he does have a ball joint. And okay, it fell off again. That's interesting. All right, so just to note, I may have not put it back on correctly, I guess. All right, maybe that's on correct. You got me. Anyway, so his head is technically on a ball joint. His arms are on swivels. They go out to the side, and then they swivel back and forth. They can go all the way around. He does have a ball jointed elbow, so you can get all those swivels around. Again, he does have a wrist swivel that is not usable. He does have a waist swivel, so he's got that going on. He's got ball jointed hips. He's got thigh swivels. He's got bendy knees. He's got sort of bendy feet. If that's, if you're okay with doing that. And yeah, he is very roughly jazz-like. I have to say, this is him for the back. I kind of like the way his top half of his car kind of comes down to these 2 points. I think that's pretty cool looking. I like that design element of him. But other than that, I don't really like this figure. I gotta be honest. Kind of a letdown. I like Jazz as a character. I think he's an awesome character. And this figure overall feels... It feels like an unused Robots in Disguise design, to be honest with you. Just the big flaps that are his arms, the unusable wrist swivels. It just, this guy could have come out in the latter part of the Combiner Wars line, and nobody would have batted an eye. They would have been like, oh yeah, okay, it's another repaint, the Jazz, whatever. So I mean, like, I appreciate what they're going for here, but it just is not doing anything for me. Even the head just doesn't really. I mean, it's kind of Jazz-like, but I don't know. It's just something about this is just the lack of paint, the lack of love. I feel a lack of love in this figure. I want whoever designs Jazz figures to love Jazz. I want to make a good Jazz figure. But I mean, so when we put Jazz, say, next to the other Wavemates, the Dinobots, like, you can see the care that was put into these figures. Whereas this guy, he just looks like another not enough painted white car Autobot that we've seen so many of in the past couple of years. So I'm a little bit bummed out. I gotta be honest with you. Jazz is easily the least favorite out of these 3 figures. I didn't pick up Dreadwind because he just looked like another... Again, he looked like another repaint of Combiner Wars plane figures, which I have 1,000 of and I don't need any more of. And I felt kind of the same way about Jazz, but because it is Jazz, I took the leap and got him. But yeah, kind of regretting the purchase. So, you can come to your own conclusions. Maybe you guys disagree with me, and that is absolutely fine. Different opinions makes the world go round, man. But as for me, I don't really recommend Jazz. He's kind of a sad little toot. And not really doing it for me. So that is my opinion, and that is going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the review, please hit that like button. It really does help me out. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more. I will keep pumping out these Power of the Primes figure video reviews as much as I can find and afford these Power of the Primes figures. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.